My name is Tyler Braun. I'm the Director of Financial Planning with the Tranel Financial Group. I'm here today to talk about Molly. Molly's a client we sat down with. She was in her late 70s. We were really starting to look through her portfolio a little bit differently. Her husband had passed away in recent years, and she was at a point where she was starting to feel some comfort with the income that she had coming in. So we had already gone through many of the financial planning steps of making sure she had a healthy emergency fund, understanding where her income is coming from, understanding her taxes and how we're able to effectively utilize different tax brackets. And she'd already done her required minimum distribution planning going forward. And the next, layer that we started to unpack really had to do with her children and looking at the overall ability for her portfolio to not only benefit Molly, but benefit that next generation. And one of the comments she had made is that her daughter was a school teacher and she had recently gone through a divorce and she's a single mom and she was having some financial hardships, especially with the mortgage. And that seems to be, for most people, their largest liability, where they're making the most amount of payments towards that on a monthly basis. So as we sat down and went through Molly's portfolio and we had discussed her required minimum distribution already, I started to inform her about the possibility of gifting to the kids. And this can be a very powerful tool, especially for someone that is getting close to that gifting threshold from an estate tax provision, meaning that if their estate or assets go over a certain number, there could be additional taxes when they pass away. And this is something that Molly did have to consider, as she was a very good saver, as was her late husband. But what was more powerful about that is, Molly's daughter was a very prideful person, and she didn't necessarily just want to take a check from mom or dad. And many people that we work with also sometimes are a little bit worried on what that money could be used for versus what it should be used for. So instead, what Molly did is she actually contacted the mortgage company and was able to set up a direct deposit on a monthly basis to have her dividends from her after-tax account go towards paying that mortgage. And it was a way for Molly's daughter to not have to take those funds. It was a way to not have to worry about that liability anymore. And Molly's daughter also couldn't argue with her too much, as Molly was able to establish this directly. So very powerful when you take a look at your assets and you look at not only how they can benefit you, but how they can benefit that next generation. The most rewarding thing for Molly in our conversations is knowing that she was able to help her daughter and also help her grandchildren indirectly by taking that stress off that situation. If you have any questions about gifting, generational wealth, estate planning, please feel free to reach out, as Molly's scenario does sound unique, but it comes up more than you'd think.